Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you. I appreciate you. We are on Aquarius, you guys. I'm almost done doing the rounds here. We got Aquarius and then Pisces. So we're starting with a chakra card. I hope everybody's doing well. We got a lot of energies going on, you guys, right now. I was looking, really the only thing you guys got going in the Aquarius part of the sky is Pluto at 3, I believe it's 3 degrees. So, I was looking at I think I marked it. Yes. The 3 degrees, so on the Sabian symbols for the 3 degree, Aquarius marking, you go up 1 to 4, and it's a Hindu healer. And it's interesting because I was looking at that, and Aries just entered Neptune, you guys. We got a lot of energy going on, and I had built this interactive, like, birth chart, sky chart thing. So if you see me looking over here, so I can see kind of where everything's at. And Pluto at 4 degrees, I was like, oh, I'm going to check out the Sabian symbol for that. And it was a Hindu healer. And I have been feeling that because I've been feeling, I dabble in all kinds of everything. Like I love spirituality, period. I love meditation. I love singing bowls. I love candles. I love oils. I love crystals. I love it all. I love it. It brings me peace, calm. And before I had even checked this out, I was like, you know, since I got my space, I always wanted to make this into it's always been supposed to be like a meditation space, a space where I can do cards, whatever I want to do anything with the pendulum, anything. So I got finally, and I wanted to do this when we built this room, but I didn't know where I was going to put it. And I got my tea center, which this is a very like, Asian, Eastern medicine kind of, and a social thing, the tea thing, but I love tea anyway. But I wanted a special tea spot that I could do the whole tea stuff, the tea leaf readings, all that. So I got that set up finally this week, and I was just kind of blown away at right now. The Pluto is a Hindu healer, and it's about realignment. So this is in the Aquarius part of the sky. That's why I'm bringing this up with your guys' reading. It's all about realignment, and I can feel that like happening. I can feel all this energy shifting from this Piscean to this fire, and we're going to be going through this for a couple years here. There's going to be a lot of outer planets, these modern planets shifting. So Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune. Okay, so these are big collective energies also. So I've kind of it's came up in a couple readings, a lot about this self-care. And I don't just mean taking like your regular shower or skincare and stuff. I mean like taking that time to yourself, away from everything else, to really gather your energy, to center yourself, to ground yourself. Especially the root chakra's been coming up a lot in the readings I've done just recently, which was Sagittarius and Capricorn. So we'll see what you guys get, but it speaks to the impact or the ability to make a difference in the world, and to healing or the corrective of realignment of body, mind, and circumstance. And that is what a space like this provides you, or any kind of alone time, a walk in the woods, sitting by the river, anything that brings you into realignment with nature, with your part in nature, that you are a part of nature, you are nature. And that's what I've been really feeling, and it kind of even blew my mind. And I'm totally, into this astrology and stuff like that, but I was just like, wow, that's Pluto. Like, this is Plutonian, that Pluto degree, 3 degrees Aquarius, that I am been building into this space, that's specifically for realignment, for helping heal the body, mind, circumstances. It says the image of a Hindu healer alludes to an ability to touch all things in a unifying magic. The emphasis in this degree is on dedication, spiritual self-discipline, and the perfection of skill and method. And this has been working, I know, in my life. And if you're on that path, you've been studying, you've been learning more, you've been growing more in your your habits, the things you do with your energy, the things you invest your energy in. And that's been a big theme through the readings too, you guys, is what are you investing your energy in? Is this something that helps you or not? Is this something that you were just taught was the right thing to do, or something you feel from your soul, from your spirit? That's all things that have coming in. And it says, and the positive, at its highest, the symbol represents physical and mental mastery and a natural gift for bringing out the best in others. Negative is fraud or fakery. Today, which it stays at this degree for a while because it's Pluto, moves slow. So some of the stepping stones for this Sabian symbol are treatment, care, remedial measures. And I've been talking about this as I don't have a lot of fire in my birth chart. And you can find your birth chart like Cafe Astrology or anywhere like that, you guys, and find out like what your elements are. Like, what are you mainly? And I know fire is not, it's one of those things I've been working with. My North Node is in Leo, and it's been a very, it's been a huge adjustment to learn. It's not even learning, like I'm not studying that. It's just like feeling that Leo energy coming into this really watery air energy that I carry naturally, that I'm trying to bring this fire into my life. And there's a lot of fire coming in, and I'm just like, and I can feel like this adjustment happening. It's hard to describe, but I was like, man, and I watched astrology shows. I watched, and I always love teas and oils and stuff, and it does help. It helps ground you, it helps center you, all that. So I was like, I'm gonna look into this more. And Adam Ellenboss on Astrology Nightlife Astrology, or I think it's what it's called, and his wife just happened to be on and is like an herbologist and was talking about nettles. And I was like, and she's talking about, they were talking about using nettles to help get through fire energy, the way you prepare it and stuff. And you'd have to go watch it because I don't got the whole thing like memorized or anything, but it hit me that, wow, here I am building a tea station, where I can use the herbs and extra stuff to help me with the fire energy. So Aquarius is an air energy, and that is my south node. So I'm very familiar with Aquarius energy. It's very different though than a Leo energy, fire energy. So I just want to kind of point out that there may be a lot of Aquarian energies right now needing that extra help, extra. I think everybody right now could benefit from alone time, oils, candles, meditation, soft music, whatever, teas, herbs, whatever, but something healthy and something that helps benefit you right now with the energies that are going through the air and going to stay there for a very long while. So as it goes through these houses, it's going to hit different degrees in whatever you have in that house. Now my North Node isn't placed until the 20 degrees of Aquarius. So when Pluto hits my South Node, I'm like, what's going to happen? So I'm very curious to find out. That will be a while down the road, by the way, because we're only at 3 degrees. So that's how slow this goes. And it's going to be there for years, 20 some years. So, we're talking towards the end of this transition. But I feel like I always kind of been in touch with Pluto. I'm not quite sure why exactly, but I've always kind of felt that energy. And I don't have very strong anything like Scorpio. It's just very strange, but I just felt that was kind of synchronistic, that I happen to be doing, and it's not like I don't already do self-remedy, self-help, but it's about rehabilitation, restoration, rejuvenation, cure, unification, recuperation, amelioration, alleviation, improvement, assuagement, elixirs, which I also have purchased some more oils. And this is just it's just crazy how this energy, and I'm usually pretty aware of, and I was just like, I'm going to check out the Sabian symbol for this because you guys don't have anything else going on in that area of the sky, in the Aquarius area of the sky. I do suggest checking out your rising, because that's what I'm basing this all on. And right now, Aquarius is, right now it's obviously because we're in Aries. Let me see here. Aries sun right now, but it rules the 11th house of the sky. Okay, so you might already know that. If you're in Aquarius, you probably already know that. But this is where, but it could be different on your birth chart. That's what I'm kind of getting to. Like, my Aquarius is in my 12th, or no, excuse me. My North Node is in my 12th house. So it depends on where your chart's at. So it's kind of good to look at, see where part of this is going through. Where is Pluto going through in your houses? I don't want to be too confusing, but okay, so how do I explain? Okay, so Pluto's going through Aquarius in my 6th house. My 6th house is ruled by Virgo, which also happens to be my ascendant, my Saturn, my Jupiter, and my Mars. I have a lot in Virgo, which is like right across the way. Not directly, because Pisces is the one directly across from Virgo. But it is your house of wellness. It's your house of service. It's your house of... And Virgo's all about making things better, improving things. So that I find that fascinating, that I've improved a space that I already thought was like perfect, but I could make it better. You know, that's a very Virgonian thing. And also me, like I can improve my energy more. I can give myself more self-care. I can look into other things. And that's what I've been doing, is just looking into other stuff, other healing remedies, other healing techniques, stuff like that. So I think this is going to be a pretty active time for me as far as that goes. But I just wanted to point that out, because if you happen to be going through like some stuff like that, where you're making like you may be, maybe even seeking a guru or a counselor or yoga or anything like that, it's most likely that Pluto is hitting your sun, and you could be actually being the guru, the helper, the teacher. Like there is a feeling here with you guys, with this area of the sky right now, even though there's not a whole lot going on in it. Pluto's a lot. Even though it's a little, it's a lot. So I just wanted to point that out. And we got the solar plexus chakra, just plain old solar plexus chakra. So as I was talking about that, that means that's just telling me that right now your solar plexus chakra is on fire, which is I will do this. I will get this done. It's about your confidence. It's about being happy doing what you're doing. It's joyful. It's beautiful. I love the solar plexus chakra. Some of the stones that are good for this are citrine. This is a piece of citrine. Usually yellow, like calcite yellow. It's about your power, your confidence, utilizing your power and confidence. So also, I've been saying through these videos, before I even was getting into this today, I've rearranged I've brought out my oils. I brought out all my extra stuff that I want to use more regularly than I was using, because I feel like it's going to help through these shifts and these energies, and it could very well help you also. But I did buy these oils from Amazon, and they're chakra oils, and they aren't the cheapest, you guys, but they last for a long time. And we will, I just want to use the correct oil for your guys' readings so this is the solar plexus oil, and it's the yellow one, and I will read more about that. I will read the short in the book for that, but then you can just put a little on your hand, you guys, and just rub your hands together. And it kind of smells flowery. It smells really like flowery. It smells really good. All these oils smell really good. So if you get a chance to buy any oils like this could be helpful during these transits and stuff for you, especially with your sun, or if your ascendant's in Aquarius. Pluto's going through your 1st house, and that is all about self. That is all about you. So we are going to go ahead and read the solar plexus chakra, you guys. Hope everybody is taking care of themselves and is taking the extra time to gather and center and do what you need to do to feel better, and just stay centered and grounded during some of these shifts, and not let things going on around us shake us inside, if that makes sense. It's about intellect, ambition, strength of will, personal power, individuality, identity, self-worth, freedom of choice, inner child, the ego, and personality. From the belly of the sun, emblazed in golden light, emerges and I can never say these right, you guys. I need to just really go look up like exactly how to pronounce all these, because I never say them right. Manipura, our solar plexus chakra. 10 yellow lotus petals form a circle within which an inverted triangle stands, representing fire, the power of our inner fire, igniting within us courage, dynamism, willpower, and drive. This chakra houses the flames of our digestive fire. That's interesting too, because I've also been feeling the digestive, and I've got like some dandelion tea and stuff to help with digestion, and things just haven't been like feeling as good in my stomach. It almost feels like I want to fast or something, it's paying more attention even to what and I've already like cut out beef and pork like 2 years ago, so I don't know what's next, but it's been a shift in I've already started feeling a lot of these shifts through where Pluto's going through in my Aquarius house, which is my 6th house. And I just want to say that there's a lot of validity there when I'm talking about that. So do check out your chart, see which house Pluto's going through. If you're in Aquarius sun, it's somewhere in there. If you're a rising, it's in your 1st house. It's going through, and it's changing you. It's going down to the depths of who you are and bringing up all the things you want to eliminate, get rid of, all that. So that is very important to know if you are experiencing that. Located between our navel sternum, our solar plexus is truly the sun center of our being. Yeah, so it's right here, right under your chest, you guys, in between your belly button and like your lower chest. So just that's where your solar plexus is located. When you take a deep breath, that's kind of where we're taking it. It's good if you can get it down further to your sacral, but it's just a lot of times that's where we feel that breath. So when we speak about standing in our power, we speak of feeling centered, strong, and resilient within the core of our solar plexus. This card is a call to ignite your inner fire, to breathe into the depths of your belly, and to move with more strength, courage, and confidence in the direction of your goals. Use your intellect and gut instincts to plan a path to achieve all that you desire. Harvest the power of your will to fuel your ambition until you reach fulfillment of your goals. Become aware of your personal power and your ability to choose the direction of your life. Imagine the light of the sun shining its energy through your individual movements in the world. There is no need to be boisterous, but equally, now is not the time to hold yourself back. Shrinking serves no one. Be proud of who you are and feel confident to express your individuality in full form. It is now time to allow the expansion and expression of your true self. Shining self-esteem will empower others to ignite their flame also. Now is the time to move in the direction to be and achieve all that you can. Affirmations: I am strong, standing in my personal power today. I am worthy of being loved, respected, and listened to. I am proud, confident, and happy with myself. I deserve and accept the life I dream of, and I choose to move forward in life. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to just give you a quick rundown on that solar plexus chakra. It's yellow, obviously, the stomach area between the navel and the sternum. Some of the things its attributes are intellect, ambition, strength of will, personal power, individuality, self-worth, freedom of choice, inner child, the ego, and personality. I am getting that ambition and stuff already, and we haven't even pulled your guys' cards yet. It's the glands are the pancreas and the adrenals. Archetypes are the servant and the warrior. I was feeling that as I was talking about the service aspect of my Virgo house, and it was just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of came in. I don't usually talk about like what I'm personally like doing kind of in my energy. Maybe I should more, because there is a lot of synchronicities. There's a lot of things that it makes sense, like why I'm doing that after I figure it out, like, oh, well, that's what's going on. No wonder why I'm feeling this huge drive to kind of restructure and make things better, like that. It's going through my 6th house. So I'm definitely trying to make things better here, like myself included, my calmness, my time, spending my time really getting to that place. And it's not like I don't do that, but it's just even more like it's intensified. It's also ruled by Mars, that's also what I'm talking about with Aries, everything moving into fire. And it's not happening like all like right now, but Neptune just moved in. That's huge. Neptune just moved into Aries. That's huge. Saturn's going to move into Aries. And 2026, I believe, it might be by the summer, actually. I think by the summer they're going to be conjoining, I think. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and it's ruled by Leo. Aries and Leo. Maybe that's why I kind of brought up like my north and south node too, because I'm feeling this. I am feeling this. Leo's my north node. Aquarius is my south node. I'm feeling those nodes, even though the nodes right now are in Virgo and Pisces. South node Virgo, north node Pisces, which is very interesting because we're leaving a lot of stuff's getting left. Pisces is kind of falling to the background, because we're moving towards, collectively right now we're focusing on that Piscean energy, as it's also the planets are kind of slowly leaving it. Some of these big planets like Neptune just left Pluto. It's kind of crazy the way that is working. The oils that's what I'm smelling. It's lemongrass. Lemon. It's a very lemony, but it also has bergamot, grapefruit, peppermint, and eucalyptus. In this oil, I'm smelling more of the lemongrass and a little bit maybe of the bergamot. But it's very nice. It's a nice smell. It's not like, oh, lemon. It's not like sour, burn your eyes lemon. It's very subtle, sweet lemon smell. Okay, so when it's harmonious, it's tolerant and accepting of others, confident and strong-willed, sense of assertiveness without domination of others, has a strong sense, and are proud of who you are, which is that self-esteem. When it's, you know, and I'm just going to name a few of these because it has a very long list, you guys, and this is a very nice book and deck to get if you are interested in looking into chakras or helping balance out chakras, especially during shifts and stuff that are just, you know, something's like awry, you know something's just like, oh, this is kind of intense energy or anything like that. Just check in with your chakras, check in with your body. Okay, when it's inharmonious, it lacks confidence and it has suppressed emotions and it's angry, afraid to be alone or unwilling to do things alone. It can be passive, overly sensitive to criticism, or easily upset. Can't make decisions, weak sense of self and fear of power, fearful of rejection, taking on too much responsibility. So there's a whole list here, you guys. Good activities to help balance out this chakra are studying something, being assertive, doing something, getting something done. Mind puzzles, quizzes, so keeping your mind busy also. Sports and competitive games, your body busy. Find a passion or hobby you enjoy and enroll in classes. Write down childhood memories. So anything like this, yellow or orange foods, honey, pineapple, banana, corn, anything yellow. Yeah, and that's another thing with the chakras and stuff, you guys. You can wear like the color, like you draw a card like this, maybe go find some yellow, put it on, it'll help. It's crazy how colors and everything. I had it was like 3 years ago, I had a whole span of time where I was going through the rays of light and all the colors, all the deeper like energies of the colors and the vibrations. And you know, this is a whole process when you start getting into stuff. Everything's connected and you just start finding more to study, more to learn, more that's connected. So yeah, it's a lot. But you guys, this is a beautiful card for you guys. Solar plexus, all about the wheel. We're going to see what else comes out for you guys. First, we're going to say a little prayer here. If you would just say this with me. I did stop doing this because of the length of the videos, but it just feels good. I feel like it gets you guys in a mindset to just be more present with the reading. So, and it helps. I usually do it before to cut down time on the video, but I talk so much anyway, it doesn't really matter. So thank you, Spirit, for your guidance, protection, and unconditional love. I'm grateful for all known and unknown, seen and unseen divine energy, guiding, allowing, and protecting us as we receive these messages with an open heart and mind. I pray these messages of healing and protection reach those who need them and those who will fully embrace their own divine energy for the most loving good. As we walk on this path of love, healing, and redemption, may your healing light touch, taint, and transmute all darkness with understanding, acceptance, and faith in the holy light of love. Amen. All right. Okay, guys. So first we're just going to get, and I will just give you guys a heads up. I'm doing a blind spot card for these readings. It kind of just hit me that we needed to do some blind spot readings. So we will be doing that. If I do want to tell you ahead of time that when I first got the blind spot deck, I hated it because it's shadow work, you guys. And if you're not ready for shadow work, just take what you can, leave what you can't. But if you're into the shadow work and you are working on getting rid of behaviors and personality habits and stuff that you are trying to release from you so that you can be more authentically who you are today and not what you have been, not what you've been trained to be, not maybe the primal parts of us that just some of this is genetic, some of it's stuff we've created in our lives through survival, and it's just really important to release that stuff so that we can have a clearer understanding of like who we are today and what we need in our life today, and we're not reacting from a place that is toxic, you know. So it does point out some blind spots, like you might not see this about yourself, or you might not understand that you're doing this. So we will get there. But right now, we're just going to look and see what we got. Oh, I love this. Dream interpretation. Interesting. I've been getting a lot of dreams. I always do get a lot of dreams, but I've been sleeping really good. Like up till like the last couple weeks, I've been not sleeping as good. I'm getting a lot of dreams. So this could be very much Pluto stuff too. It's very, very strange, but it might be important to journal and write down your dreams right now. Decode dream symbols to uncover messages from your subconscious symbols and revelation. So something, definitely feeling like you could be getting some kind of signs. It doesn't necessarily have to be in your sleep, you guys. It could be that you are getting these even during your waking time. So, or seeing any kind of signs, any kind of symbols, any kind of messages that are speaking to you. Write them down and then look into them. Look into the interpretation of this insect or this animal, or even if you see like a shape of a cloud, right, and it looks like something, look into the symbolism of that. See what the universe is trying to say to you right now. There's a lot happening. There is a lot happening right now. So pay attention to everything that's going on around you. Pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the synchronicities. Pay attention to what your own mind might be trying to clear out right now also. What else do we got here? Ooh, I was feeling this at the beginning when I was talking about, like, you may be seeking, like, spiritual, like, herbal medicine or astrology or nature things. And I also said, you may be the teacher. You may be the one that is helping others, guiding others. This is a very Aquarius thing, helping the humanity, helping the group. Spiritual mentor, walk the path of wisdom and learning. And I am feeling that in this whole conversation that I've been having with you guys. I've been feeling like this, learning more, studying more, digging deeper into especially healing remedies, especially learning more about the things that our nature, in our physical reality, can provide a lot of help for us also. So there's definitely a feeling here of you learning more and maybe exploring more into your dreams, maybe into the just exploring more, and wanting to learn more and wanting to be maybe more confident, maybe understand something more about what you already know, or you already understand, but you want to know more, you want to make it better. That's what I'm getting so far, and I was feeling it even before we pulled any cards, you guys, so I am feeling that. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to pull a blind spot card right now, but we're not going to read it until after I pull your tarot, and then we're going to get a spiral oracle, and that'll be softer. We'll do that after the blind spot because it'll be a softer read. So these can feel harsh, these blind spots, but this is the sigil you got. Ooh, it's almost like he's walking across a bridge or something. We will read that after I pull your cards, but there is like I said, there can be harshness. It can feel harsh if you're not being open to your own humanity, your own flaws, your own I'm not a perfect human being. It's a real thing, you guys. Ego, and it will do anything to protect itself, even if it lies to yourself and says, oh, it's the other person that's the bad person, not me, I'm not the one doing that. But there is a feeling here of learning more about something very spiritual here. I am feeling this fire energy. You could be really tapping into your own fire right now, and if you've been with my channel, you know fire is spirit, fire is creation, creating something. Let's see here. Let's get a couple of these. Yeah. On the bottom, the Three of Cups. This can be getting around friends, community, gathering together with like-minded people, soul tribe type energy, and celebration, because not only are you with the people that support you, but you all support each other. And there's a feeling here, that's the undertone, so that's what this is probably about. But the cards we got here are Five of Swords and the Eight of Cups, and then the Queen of Pentacles. So here is a story going on about, could be a group, family, friends, a tribe that has had a fallout. Maybe a very harsh fallout, an argument, something like that, where maybe mind stuff, the head got in the way. That's what I'm feeling with this Five of Swords. Ego got in the way. If this is your reading and this resonates, there could be something here you've experienced recently where somebody's ego or somebody's words, even somebody's harshness, got in the way of a friendship or a very close-knit group or family. And you could be venturing now into your own, and you could be the one that even used the harsh words, might I say, because I do these readings for the person I'm reading them for, or the people. This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But we got the Eight of Cups next, which is telling me there's some emotional stuff you're walking away from here. And this could be, to me, when I used to get this all the time, I was walking away from my own emotional reactions and my own emotional, like, things that didn't work for me anymore, like ways I tried to make myself feel better, or things that maybe should make you happy but just didn't make me happy. So, and also I do feel this a lot of the times as walking away from emotional things we do, negative emotional reactions or negative emotions. So there could have been an emotional feeling here that caused a mental, like, okay, let me rephrase this. Let me sit with this for a second. Words, fighting, maybe putting somebody down, maybe not caring about the end result, just the winning. Okay, somebody here, and this could be the emotion, coming from the emotion of not feeling good enough. You could have been in a situation here where you could have felt like there's a deep feeling of I deserve a win, or I gotta win. Like, I have to win. I have to be good enough, and I don't care what I have to do to win. I don't care what I have to do to be good enough. So that could involve self-worth, solar plexus chakra. Or you could be experiencing this with somebody in your life where you are now walking away from things that you do care about, but it's just not what you want. It's not what you want in your life anymore. It's not bringing you the happiness and the satisfaction that it once did. I will read the shorts to these. I don't usually do that because I do know my cards, but this is a new deck and they're very short and sweet, and I do want to do that for this deck as we're going. I just love the black and white images in this deck, and I just like it's short and sweet, and then you don't have to just take my word for it. You can just hear it out of the book. And then we got that Eight of Cups, and he's walking away from all this full table of cups to go on an adventure, to seek something else. So, even as much as this can be comfortable, it's not comfortable. There's a feeling of leaving something that might seem all good and everything, but there's just something beckoning you away from what your comfort is, where your comforts were. You could be leaving something behind here because of somebody's poor judgment in their words or their communication, or maybe pure just ego, and a falling out here that cannot be mended. So that is kind of coming through if that resonates with you. So I am kind of getting that with these two. There's several things you can read these two, but I am getting that now you're moving on. Now that can mean literally you're moving physically away from something that once made you happy that does not anymore. Something's calling you to go find that happiness within yourself, so you don't have to seek it in other people. Also, that is about self-confidence. That is about finding your own confidence, your own worth, your own value. So there could have been something here where you may have depended on somebody or something, or they may have depended on you, and you see that, or you find that that's not a reliable source for true happiness, true joy, true confidence. It's nice when we have help, and it's nice when we have friendships, but it feels like there was a falling out of some sort. That's what I'm getting from that. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles here coming in, and I love the Queen of Pentacles. She's very resourceful, so she takes whatever she's got. No, it doesn't matter if it's this much or this much, and it doesn't matter. She makes the best of it. She can make a meal from a crumb, for a whole village. Very resourceful, knows how to use her resources. So as you're moving away from maybe some resources of others even that just aren't there anymore, you're finding your own resources, and you have everything. With the Queen of Pentacles, she has everything she needs. Very Empress-like energy. She has everything she needs to be content, be happy, be comfortable. She lives a comfortable life, a very comfortable life, very abundant, can turn one seed into a garden, very resourceful, knows how to use the material. She's the earth, the Queen of Earth, knows how to use the material world to the max, to build whatever, there's a rabbit here by her feet that symbolizes, and the white rabbit, honestly, I've seen that in my dreams too. It's white rabbit, it's the abundance, abundance, and she doesn't have a fear of not having enough, because she knows whatever she has, she can make work. So there's not a fear of lack or anything as you are moving forward. And it's like, you have what you need. You have all you need, and you will make whatever you have work. That is what I'm getting from this. So we are going to go ahead and read that blind spot. So just take a deep breath and brace yourself for this blind spot, you guys. It's it can be kind of intense. Let's see what you got though, because all these are different, and it's good to just have an open mind with these, you guys, and it helps a lot to do shadow work. Get rid of this stuff before we enter a full new, blown in, like whole new era here of energy. 34, excuse me, I had it backwards. Running away from emotion. Oh my goodness. Okay, you have enough. You have enough to go on your own, to go do your own thing, find your own way. But there is something here you're walking away from that's emotional. You could be walking away from something right now to escape the emotions of maybe needing to apologize, maybe needing to work on something. That is what I'm getting just right off from those words, running away from emotion, because there's this 8 of Cups, and that is emotion. Like, those, a lot of emotion. But sometimes there's good reasons we walk away from emotions. If they're negative emotions, and they're emotions that cause us to do horrible things or stupid things or selfish things, then we're walking away from those emotions. We're walking away from those emotions of not feeling good enough, and that's what I was feeling, or not feeling worthy, or not feeling. And so we go over and beyond, or we try to overcompensate, or, I always think of like the little guy driving the big truck. Not to offend anybody if you're the little guy driving the big truck, but I think I saw it in a show. So I was like, this compensation, like, over dramatic, overdoing something because there's a feeling of needing to compensate because I am not enough. But there is the Queen of Pentacles here. She knows she's enough. She knows she's got enough. So there is feelings here. It says, if you've drawn this sigil, you are currently running away from emotion. Whew. What you do not see is that an important personal truth is underneath the emotion you are trying to run away from. A personal truth is underneath the emotion you're trying to run away from. So if you're trying to run away from fear of rejection, fear of, it could be fear, but it also could be anger too. You're walking away from anger, and there's something deeper here, rooting deeper. It says, chances are that as a child, you were not allowed to have certain emotions or to see them as valid. So you could be shutting down your emotions, walking away from anything that involves emotions, maybe because you didn't know how to handle emotions, and there was a reactive, like a negative emotional reaction that happened here between friends or family or soul tribe, and now you're just walking away from the whole deal going, I can't deal with this, I don't know how to handle this. Or maybe you did handle a situation not to the best, so you're going to go work on your center. You're going to learn more about how to handle and deal with emotions, the emotional side of life. That is just coming through. That's just a side message, you guys. It says, they weren't tolerated or treated as if they existed. This means that every time you feel a negative emotion, like defeat, embarrassment, fear, anger, any kind of emotion, not feeling good enough, you're feeling low self-esteem, or not worthy, or lack, any kind of emotion that feels negative, okay? It says you're going to respond it to the way you've been conditioned to respond to it. So you may have responded to something here, Aquarius, if this is your reading and it's resonating, in a very, maybe a very poor manner. That is the 5 of Swords. It's reacting to something in a poor manner, and it's just winning at all costs. It could be really hitting below the belt. It could be just knowing that somebody's already down and kind of kicking them when they're down. And then, there's this feeling of, hey, I won. But in the end, it's like you lost. Because you lost somebody special, or you lost a group of people that you loved. And like it feels like a bigger loss here than just a fight, okay? It's like, man, that wasn't worth it. Like, you may be re-examining like your own emotional reaction to things and walking away from a lot of these emotional reactions that you've had in life and going, yeah, this isn't working for me. Like, the way I react to this is not right. So I need to go find a better way to react with not it. When I'm emotional, I'm an emotional human being. I have emotions. I need to learn how to express those emotions or not express them. to really sit with them. So I don't do anything harsh or make any quick, sudden, impulsive moves to just try to get out of the situation as fast as I can, or try to win as fast as I can, to really sit with those emotions and try to leave them behind that aren't serving you, leaving the emotions behind that don't serve you. And it says you are going to deny, reject, and disown it. You are going to try to deny it away and shut it up because you believe it shouldn't exist. The feeling of fear, or the feeling of anger, or the feeling of not being enough, the feeling of low self-worth, or low, just that, all those feelings that feel so yuck. It says you are also going to do the same thing to other people's emotions. Somebody could have got emotional and you couldn't handle their emotions, so you lashed out and you disregarded not only another's emotions, but your own emotions. If this is resonating, this could be your reading. If not, it could be somebody in your life doing this to you also. But sometimes we mistake our ego for our emotions. Okay, we think one thing, but really the emotions are kind of different than our ego. We react. Our actions and our responses and our defense mechanisms are our ego protecting our emotions or hiding our emotions, or we don't know how to handle those feelings, so our head figures out a way to make it feel better somehow. And that's not always it's most likely not, unless you've done a lot of work on your emotional body. You do have a lot of walking away from emotional responses, emotional reactions that you've probably done your whole life. So you could be really learning more about how to ground yourself, how to center yourself, how to bring up your own self-esteem and your own confidence so that you don't diminish others with their emotions. Maybe you need to feel more confident with your own emotions and your own emotional body, and be able to exist with them without disowning them, rejecting them, hating them, being angry at them. It says if we reject our own emotions, this means we don't want anyone else to feel what we refuse to feel. Because when we see somebody else get jealous or sad or any kind of emotion, fearful, we'll be like, or cry, be like, God, don't be such a big baby. You call them a name, because really deep down, there's so many times you've wanted to cry, and there's so many times that you've wanted to say something about your feelings, but you were taught, no, you don't do that. So there could be, this is a blind spot. So just keep in mind that if this is your reading, it's for all human, you guys, we all have these blind spots. This is just a good thing to look at and think about and reflect on if it's resonating. You could really turn it around on others and make them kind of the weakling, or the baby, or the overly emotional or overly controlling one, because they are feeling a low self-worth, so they're getting upset or jealous or controlling, or instead of really seeing past the jealousy, past the controllingness, and seeing, oh wow, that person doesn't feel good about themselves, there's low confidence, there's low self-worth. Instead, you just want to judge the emotional reaction of it instead of going deeper into it, and sometimes even lash out or reject, be like, oh no, emotions are a part of us, whether we like it or not. We're emotional beings, and we're meant to have emotions. And I believe our emotions are good things. I think it's what makes us very special. I think it makes us super, it helps to push us, to help us to grow, to evolve, to become more balanced, but also still very much so caring people. We also have to learn not to let our emotions control us, because I come from a very emotional energy. I'm a very emotional energy. I've had to learn, it's taken years to learn to not rule my life from an emotional place, although deep down everything is emotional. Everything has emotion in it and behind it, and I always see that emotion as people do whatever, you're constantly seeing that emotion, but it doesn't mean you have to react to it or react from a place of it, if that makes sense. It says no one overreacts, including you. Oh, excuse me. It says you need to get into the practice of doing the exact opposite. So it's saying, if we reject our own emotions, this means we don't want anyone else to feel what we refuse to feel. We don't want you to feel sad because I refuse to feel sad. We don't want you to feel angry because I refuse to be angry. We don't want you to feel low self-confidence because I refuse to have low self-confidence. There's every feeling. And it says, and we don't want their emotions to make us feel a way we don't want to, like guilty or ashamed, or like, why don't I feel that way? Or why can't I express my feelings? Or why can't I talk about that? Or why can't I express that? Because we don't want to do the deeper work and say, oh, that's probably an inner child wound that I need to heal. Something like that. It says you need to get into the practice of doing the exact opposite. Turn towards your emotions instead of away from them. And maybe that's what you're working on here, Aquarius. I am seeing, if this is your reading, this dream interpretation, the spiritual mentor, walking the path of wisdom and learning. Maybe you're learning how to face your emotions, how to really come face to face with them and handle them in a way that is respectful and honors your humanity and those around you. And I love that. I love that message is coming through. No one overreacts, including you. There has never been a person who has ever overreacted. People react exactly in accordance with the reality that they alone perceive. And our perspective and realities are not the same. For example, there is a perception that a person who is dramatic or who is a drama queen is either overreacting or is acting for the sake of attention. Isn't that like the go-to for a lot of people's minds, and saying that and feeling that way? It says, is either overreacting or is acting for the sake of attention, much like a performer on a stage. If this is the case, and they are overreacting for the sake of attention, this is what I was talking about seeing behind the emotion that you're seeing, understanding what's at the root of it, not just what you're seeing and judging that, but going, why is that there? If we can do that for ourselves, we can do that for others. First, you got to learn to do it for yourself. And it's all these emotions in life start to make a lot more sense. They come from a deeper place. That's way more easy to understand than like crying and all this. Like, it's, oh wow, okay, that makes more sense. Like there is something here going on with needing to look beyond the emotions that you're seeing or feeling and going deeper. It says, if this is the case and they are overreacting for the sake of attention, they are in a state of extreme conflict, because deep down they feel desperate for attention, unseen, unheard, and unloved. Deep down, they distrust and dislike themselves and have no inner peace, and so they are screaming for other people to save them from themselves. So the question must be asked, are they really overreacting if they are playing out their desperation to be saved from themselves and to be seen and heard? Oh, that makes me want to cry. Speaking of emotions, that is intense. You know, it's a lot easier to be compassionate and understanding when we can see the deeper roots of why people choose, you know, why they're doing what they're doing. Why are they acting the way they're acting? Why are they behaving the way they're behaving? Why? Because there's an emotion, a subconscious, maybe a wound, really controlling their whole life. And this is what I was also talking about. It's taken a long time to learn how to not let those wounds, those deeper things control your reactions, your life, your views on other people. Because you have to go really deep, and it takes a lot of time and work to do that, and an open mind, you guys. It says, so the question must be asked, are they really overreacting or just playing out their desperation to be saved from themselves and to be seen and heard? When it applies to the human emotional experience, there is no such thing as drama. Your emotions, you know, this could very well have been something like that, where there was just some drama, and maybe you called it drama, and it's just, there was really valid feelings and valid needs in there that maybe weren't acknowledged, whether this was of yours or somebody else's. But running away from it or walking away from it isn't going to help you face it. So maybe you are learning to face the music, face the emotions, face the deeper nature of the emotions that you're dealing with that maybe you didn't know how to handle, or somebody else around you didn't know how to handle, if this is talking about somebody around you. But also see that side too. It's easier to forgive, and it's easier to understand when we can see why people are coming from that place, because we're emotional. We can't blame or judge or criticize each other for being emotional human beings. We're human. Like, that's part of us. But a lot of the times when, especially with men, and especially if you were raised like not to show your emotions or not to talk about the things bothering you, then yeah, it can cause real problems later in life. Oh, your emotions are perfect reflection of a perspective that you hold, regardless of whether or not that perspective is a reflection of the truth. I do love that, because this is exactly perfect for emotions. It says your emotions are the perfect reflection of a perspective that you hold, regardless of whether or not that perspective is a reflection of the truth, of what's really happening. Because from an emotional lens, we see things differently. We see the world through our emotions until we learn to kind of just feel our emotions and see things kind of more clear when we aren't seeing through just the emotions. We have to see the truth, which is what's behind the emotions, what's under the emotions, what's the root of the emotions. That is the deeper part of that. It says there is always a very real reason why you feel these emotions, and there is. But sometimes we won't go deeper to find what those real reasons are. We'll blame it on something that's right there, that's easy to spot, easy to see, maybe a loved one, maybe something, instead of going deeper and deeper. It's something here going deeper, the spiritual mentor, dream interpretation, going deeper with something here to find some confidence and some power in yourself, and maybe even some trust in yourself, and seeing things differently, experiencing emotions differently. There is always a real reason when you feel these emotions. Emotion functions like a compass, pointing you through life. If your compass were not messed with, you would not fall out of touch with your own North Star, your guiding light. You would not see your emotions as wrong, and therefore you would see every emotion as valid and happening for an important reason. You would listen carefully to the personal truth being conveyed in every emotion, and you would therefore follow what feels good with awareness, the same way you would follow the compass due north. You would know that if you felt bad, it means that you are heading in the wrong direction for you personally, with your thoughts and words and actions. You cannot run away from emotion without ignoring your compass. If you've drawn the sigil, learn to feel your emotion. Choose with your free will to be present with the emotion you feel. Every emotion is valid. Sit with each emotion and listen to the personal truth it is trying to convey to you. What makes an emotion unbearable is resisting it. Like love, okay? Like we might be really mad at somebody and say, oh, I hate you and I don't want no part to do with this relationship or this person, and you walk away. You walk away from it because you're like, it's BS, I got this on my own, I don't need somebody else. But in a sense, you're not really being honest with your emotions, because deep down there's love there. Deep down you care, and you're rejecting all that. That's just an example, but it's something I've personally had to learn to be like, I'm not going to lie to myself and say, or even when people are like, oh, I hate him, or I hate, it's like, no, you don't. You're saying that because you're angry and you don't want to feel the deeper emotion, which is you love them and you care about them and you're hurt. And you may have valid reasons to feel that way, but to say, I hate this person, or I don't want to be a part of this group, or I don't want to be with this person, or I don't want to feel this, it's not the truth. You truly do want to be able to feel it and express it and honor it, because it's the truth. That's it. Ooh, if you do that, you intensify the emotion. If you resist. If you do that, you intensify the emotion beyond what you can tolerate. You need to acknowledge and learn to express the truth underneath these emotions, or else you will continue to feel toxic. You could be walking away from something here that's emotional, and it does make you happy, but it's not making you happy maybe the way you're either reacting, or somebody else is working on something deeper here in your life. There is something here. It does feel like dynamics. It feels like somebody finding out more about themselves, or what's going on behind the Five of Swords, behind the I need to win attitude, or I'm going to win no matter what I have to say, do, or reject, or ignore. I'm going to ignore your tears. I'm going to ignore that you're down on your knees and you're feeling so much shame, or you're feeling so much embarrassment, and I'm going to walk away because I won, and I'm glad I won. That's a very harsh attitude to have in these situations. So I just want to point that out. We are going to go ahead and get a softer card now. If that resonated, great. If it didn't, just leave it. But it is something to be, if these blind spots trigger you, there is probably something to look at there. If not, it's just maybe not your thing, or you could just not be seeing it because it's a blind spot. It's just a suggestion to check out, like, how you're handling emotions. Ooh, we got incorporate for your spiral oracle, which is going to be a little softer here, and I am going to read that. This reading is a little longer than the others. I think it's because I was talking about Pluto and all that, which kind of drug out a little. Sorry about that. Sorry, not sorry, but okay. Incorporate. I face my body and allow it to speak its messages. I observe every thought, conscious and unconscious, that I direct towards my physical self. Yeah, you could really be needing to even be more understanding and compassionate and empathetic with yourself. Show yourself some love, some gratitude, some, it says, my body holds me, and taking care of your physical self. This card really does speak about taking care of yourself. And this is about self-care, taking care of yourself. Do what you need to take care of yourself, and pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the messages you're getting. My body holds me, listens, feels, and manifests itself. If I stop to consider the particles of matter that I am made of, I discover that my body system is vibration. The universe, the planets, and everything that exists is vibrating. It is then necessary to ask myself, how can I make the vibrations that I create and store in my body harmonious? Like not lying about this feeling. Say align with what you feel. Align with your feelings. Get it all on board, and it's going to help center you. It's going to help bring you into alignment. It's going to feel a lot less broke and fragmented. I love this. How can I make the vibrations that I create and store in my body harmonious? How can I truly feel the life force beating in me? In my breathing is the key. And this has had that deep breath energy. Also, I want to point out with the solar plexus, we got to take that deep breath. I noticed I felt the need to take really deeper breaths as we were as I was ringing the bell and saying my prayer. That's what I got sidetracked there. So the key word for this, my body, a precious integrated unit, evolved over countless planetary years. My body, a unique experience on this earthly journey. My body, a unique experience on this earthly journey. Okay, the key word is incarnate. Sorry, I got a call on my phone, you guys, and I was just looking at it. Incarnate. I am lucid, and I question all normalization and acceptance. I question all normalization, even the normalization of repressing our feelings or putting down other people for their feelings or not seeing deeper behind the stuff we're seeing. That can be normalization and acceptance of toxic ideas in relation to my sacred body, or other sacred body, but yours also, if you're finding something, that's bad, or that's whatever, dirty, or that's whatever. It's like really cleansing, purifying the ideas that were imposed from the outside. I recover my balance when I bring consciousness to every part of my being. To connect with my physical body is to listen to myself with love. I take care and I nourish myself. I stretch, I rest, I move, and above all, I speak to myself with respect. I am responsible for how I treat myself and what I allow into me. So also not taking in toxic things, if we're handling our emotions or anything like that with toxic drink, food, stuff like that, it's saying be mindful of what you're putting in your body. I thank my body, and my body thanks me back. I celebrate a healthy relationship with myself. The human being has a universe within, full of overlapping frequencies, and the result is a symphony of cosmic proportions. I love that. All right, so let's go ahead and get a surrender card for you guys, and then that will wrap up your reading. Whew, that was a big reading, you guys. Okay, let's see. Surrender to success. So whatever this is you're learning more about, studying, maybe you really are doing that emotional work, there's success here. You've learned something, or you are learning something. You're learning how to walk away. That's most important. You're learning how to walk away from toxic emotional reactions, or maybe bearing toxic emotional stuff. You are ready to experience abundance, and that is this Queen of Pentacles, you guys. Don't look back at previous roadblocks. Don't look back at old ways you handle things, or the old ways even other people maybe if this is in relation to people you're working with or working around or wanting to reunite with or reunify yourself with. It says don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities because you've learned something, or they've learned something, or there's something that's happened here that has been a learning process about emotions and going deeper and acknowledging the stuff under the surface, things you're seeing, the toxic beliefs or ideas about the way we feel, about the way people express their emotions. So there has been work done here. So just keep in mind as you're moving forward that this is a success. This is successful. And if you are thinking about, there's some kind of, because on the bottom was that 3 of Cups. So that's that soul tribe energy that's coming together with other like-minded people. Let's not drudge up the past. Let's not bring up old things or let old ways of ways of handling our emotions get in the way of what's coming in, because there's a lot of good stuff coming in here. And I feel like the biggest roadblock is just with your guys, with this reading, it's just feeling like the biggest roadblock is how you handle your emotions, how you handle your own, whatever those weaknesses are or frailties that you maybe haven't acknowledged. Maybe you have at this point, and you're like, I'm walking away from telling myself that about myself, or feeling that way about myself, because this is about confidence, the solar plexus chakra. This is about will. This is about, I don't care what the many voices and throughout my life or the things I've learned. I know how I feel, and I know how I want to feel, and this isn't it. I want to move on to something different here that feels better. And I love that. I love that for you guys. So thank you for coming and watching a reading, you guys. I hope it helps somebody. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming, watching your video, and just coming and doing your work. And I appreciate your likes, your subscribes, and just hanging in there with me, you guys. I appreciate it. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.